Slings are available in a variety of materials and designs. Common slings are universal, hammock, hygiene, and positioning. A range of sizes is also available, from junior to extra large. Waverly Glen also offers net, quilted, or padded material slings. Slings are color-coded to enable quick selection of the correct size. Gray is the junior size, red, small, yellow, medium, green, large, blue, extra large. Waverly Glen can also make custom slings, such as the bariatric sizing to fit any size and unique need. It is important to inspect the sling visually before using it. If the sling, its stitching, or material is in any way frayed, bleached, ripped, or otherwise compromised in any way, err on the side of caution and do not use the sling. When choosing a sling and attaching it, it is important to know where you are going from and where you are going to. Transferring a client from sitting in a wheelchair to a seated position in bed, for example, usually means the caregiver would like to keep the client angled in a sitting position. This means the caregiver will attach different loops to the lift's carry bar than otherwise. Luckily, ceiling lifts have an easy rule of thumb. To maintain the client in a sitting position, use short straps at the shoulders and long straps at the legs, or short shoulders, long legs. For a prone, reclined position, the opposite configuration is used: long shoulders, short legs. The log roll can be accomplished with one or more caregivers. To place the sling, the lead caregiver rolls the client away from them. The color-coded stripe inside the sling should be aligned with the client's spine to ensure an even placement. Position the sling with its bottom edge at the coccyx or tailbone. Crossing the client's ankles, roll the client away from the lead caregiver. Tuck the side of the sling closest to the client under the client. Cross the client's legs and roll again, so he faces the lead caregiver. Guide the sling's leg material under the thigh. Continue placement of the sling by guiding the leg material under the patient's other thigh. Next, cross the straps through each other. Bring the lift into position and then raise the head of the bed. Place a hand on the carry bar when lowering so it doesn't swing. Attach the sling straps, starting with the leg straps and then moving directly to the shoulders. Finish attaching the leg straps to the carry bar. Use the lift's hand control to lift the patient. Depending on how much ceiling height there is, it might be necessary to manually lift the patient's legs, helping to direct them from the bed. Of all the slings, the hammock slings provides the most support for the body. To apply the sling, use the log roll technique to position the sling under the client. If possible, lift the client's head and apply a pillow to support the client's head and neck during the transfer. The color-coded stripe inside the sling should be aligned with the client's spine to ensure an even placement. Position the sling with its bottom edge at the coccyx or tailbone. Finish applying by pulling the leg straps under the thighs. Position so the material is flat, and then cross the straps through. With the hammock sling, the hip strap always comes through the leg strap, crossing the long through the short. The outside long loops go through the inside short loops. When attaching the hammock sling to the lift's carry bar, remember, long legs, short shoulders makes the best seated position. Lift the client's head and apply a pillow to support the client's head and neck during the transfer. When applying the ergo sheet, the two open ends must be at the head of the bed. Clasp those with one hand. Reach under and start to unwind. Make sure you bring your top hand always down close to the fold. Once the ergo sheets are in place, pass the repositioning slings straps between the sheets. 2 go under the neck, 2 go under the small of the back, and 1 under the knees. Simply pull the straps so they are exposed on the opposite sides. Pull the sling until it is in an even position. To remove the ergo sheet, reach under the client's neck, grab the corner, and pull the sheet back on itself, walking toward the end of the bed. To apply a sling to a client sitting in a chair using an ergo sheet, fold the ergo sheet in half and then slide it down between the client's back and the chair. Next, take the preferred sling and, with it fully open, slide it between the ergo sheet and the chair. Using the ergo sheet enables the caregiver to more easily slide the sling into position, arranging the client into the sling in a smooth and comfortable manner. Make sure that both the sling and the ergo sheet are evenly positioned, without folding or being doubled back in any way. Next, slide the ergo sheet from between the client and the sling. The client is now sitting directly on the sling. The sling is now ready to be secured around the client. Use a pillow to support the client's head and neck during the transfer. Bring the lift into position. Lower the carry bar enough to attach the straps. The carry bar should be positioned head to toe. Starting at the foot, attach the 2 bottom straps. Skip the middle straps and attach the 2 top straps. Lastly, attach the middle straps. Start them staggered, 1 at the top of the carry bar. Then, if the client becomes unbalanced while lifting, simply reposition the strap. Many caregivers find the walking sling useful for therapy, such as helping a client trying to learn to walk after an accident. To apply the walking sling, lean the client forward and slide the sling behind the client. Wrap the sling around the client's waist. This sling has a buckle. Make sure it is adjusted to the proper size. It should be tight, snug, but not uncomfortably so. The strap should rest above the client's abdomen. Next, Bring the leg material along the outside of the client's thigh. Wrap around the client's leg. Thread the leg straps through the metal loops on the sling's belt. These straps are what gets attached to the lift's carry bar. Hold the carry bar so it doesn't swing. The walking sling also has straps at the back. Keep a hand on the carry bar so it doesn't swing until the patient's weight has pulled the sling strap taut. Raise the client. While assisting the client, keep one hand on the client's back to steady them. When the client is directly above the chair, use the hand control to lower them. Make sure the wheelchair's wheels are locked and the footrests are in position. Using pressure from your knees is one way to ease them into the chair. Lower the carry bar to detach the straps. Remember to keep one hand on the carry bar at all times. This prevents it from swinging. Start removing the sling from under the patient. Start with under their thighs. If they are able, have them assist by shifting their weight from side to side and then leaning forward so the caregiver can slide the sling out from behind them. To apply a universal sling when the client is seated, lean the client forward and slide the bottom opening U portion of the sling down behind the client to the seat of the chair. Bring the leg material along the outside of the client's thigh, careful not to hook the sling on the wheelchair's armrests. Guide the sling under their thigh next. Pull one of the sling straps through the lower opening of the other. The two leg straps should be crossed. To keep the carry bar away from the client until the caregiver is ready to lift, lower the carry bar to below the client's face level. Next, hook the sling's bottom leg straps to the carry bar. Then hook the middle, and lastly, the shoulders. Remember, to maintain the client in a sitting position, use short straps at the shoulders and long straps at the legs, or short shoulders, long legs. Keep a hand on the carry bar so it doesn't swing until the client's weight has pulled the sling strap taut. Raise the client.